Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Radha Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Hare Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare Ram,
Ram,
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare Hare. Hare
Hare Hare.
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare.
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna
Ram Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Ram, Hare Hare.
Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare Hare.
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare.
Ram Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Chant and be happy.
Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the new initiates for the Hare Krishna Society ceremony and Prabhupada Disciples Association ceremony that took place yesterday, where they accepted their role in life as a Prabhupada disciple. That is their main focus now. Because spiritual life is the main focus, cultivation of spiritual life, and the service that they undertake for making advancement in spiritual life, their focus. Yes, someone has sent me a text, how is heaven in Yotapek this morning? I said, well, the weather's nice and the food is good, fresh, whatever. But our main focus here is not the beautiful surroundings. It's our opportunity to nourish our spiritual life by discipline and determination. That is human life. It's very temporary. But we're infatuated with the world of dreams, the world of hope. People are hoping. My friend, he was a developer, Yashoda, in Florida at one time. He was kind of a partner of mine, He had 10,000 homes in Florida. He's dead now. He was a Jehovah's Witness. And he was also quite confused. But he used to tell me, he said, live in hope, die in despair. Very interesting quote. Live in hope, die in despair. We live in a reality of Krishna consciousness, which is bhakti yoga, of service. And that's tangible. We're going to read about that today. I was looking for those comments on or explanation of the 10 offenses. I couldn't find it, so if you could send that forward to me again, we'll read them on Wednesday. We'll do it next week or this coming week on Wednesday. But again, getting back to the initiation ceremony, it was quite glorious, I thought. The program went on for about 3.5 hours, but it was interesting to note that a lot of you stayed on. You have this urge or this eagerness to experience transcendental activity even while you're in the confines of this material body. Yes, and that's your level of intensity, your level of eagerness to practice devotional service. And when the opportunity comes, you attend, you want to be a part of it. And this is a sign of advancement, that people are enthusiastic to take up Krishna consciousness and practice the principle of hearing. That's what we do in these programs. We provide a platform for association, for hearing, for chanting mantras like that. It's very practical. And not only that, we have our Srimad Bhagavatam, Delhi Bhagavatam edition that we're distributing. And that's also tangible, it's real. And if you can participate in that, that's to your benefit. Because the more you serve the mission of Lord Chaitanya, the more you serve the mission of Srila Prabhupada, the more advancement you'll make. I always go back to this quote from Srila Prabhupada, Yashodanandana Prabhu, where he said, he referred to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada. He said, Don't try to see Kṛṣṇa, but act in such a way that Kṛṣṇa will see you. It's a very important principle that we should understand. And Kṛṣṇa is watching us at every moment as the Paramatma. Is that a reality? It is, but do we understand it? No. Because spiritual life takes determination. You have to be enthusiastic. And this is something that is internal in the heart of a sincere devotee. It's internal, Vijaya Pandit. And then it manifests in how you perform your devotional service. Actions speak louder than words. A lot of people like to talk. And we live in the world of Prajalpa, Niyamagraha. We live in this world of useless conversation. And especially if you're on your phone. If you get attached to your phone, that's all you'll get when you go into social media is unlimited useless conversation. Oh, it's relevant to the day. It's relevant to the time and circumstance in 2025. But is it a reality? Is it a reality on other planets? No. Are there living beings on other planets? Yes. Are there billions of planets created by Kṛṣṇa? They are. And what is our significance? Prabhupada gave that explanation about a person living in Los Angeles. How important is that one person in Los Angeles in this universe? Insignificant. But if you have the association of Srila Prabhupada, the pure devotee, and you take up his mission, you become very important for everyone that meets you. And this is the best we can do, is serve the mission of Srila Prabhupada in the best way that we can. And that brings me to the point, Yashodanandana Prabhu, of bridge preaching, this bridge preaching business that goes on. That's what I call it. It's a business. It's somehow or other in some groups, they think that they have to modify the philosophy of Bhagavatam, the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita, the philosophy of Chaitanya Charitamrita to attract followers. To what? To them? Yeah. Just think about it, everyone. You see these people get up and start preaching Mayavadi philosophy in public, bridge preaching. Because a lot of people, especially if you're in India, they want to hear Mayavadi philosophy. So they think, well, I'll give them a little bit of Mayavadi. I'll give them some Joel Osteen preaching. You ever seen him? He's a Christian preacher on TV in America. He has a $10 million house and all kinds of facility. And he's a bridge preacher. He preaches some kind of watered down Christianity. That's what bridge preaching is. It's watered down. It's motivational. We have one of our godbrothers, and he does these short clips on Facebook and on the internet. Yes, he does. And it has no resemblance to Prabhupada's teachings. Prabhupada never told us that we should change everything for the sake of gathering Vijaya Pandit, for gathering followers. Petty, it's a very, very petty life to do that, but this is going on in the so-called name of Chaitanya Vaishnavism. So bogus. So be mindful of that. Oh, they may speak so nicely, as you know, but it's all, let's use the term hodgepodge. Hodgepodge. Prabhupada used that as a hodgepodge religions. And this is sad. And today, we're going to read some real motivational speaking. Yes, we are. Because this is what the nectar of instruction gives us, is motivational understanding of why we're doing what we're doing. It's telling us what we're doing. Coming from the lips of a bona fide spiritual master, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. We're not concocting. We're not creating bridge preaching. We're telling the truth according to Prabhupada's explanation to us. And he told us this, by the way, everyone, do not change anything. And that's what they're doing, changing everything with this bridge, garbage preaching. And the sentimentalists, Yashodanandana Prabhu, the sentimentalists will follow it because they're stupid. That's why. And you can't fix stupid because that's the nature of stupid. Listen, do not change anything. And here, we're going to go to verse 3. And let's go forward here. This is text 3 of Nectar of Instruction. Nishtyahan nishtya darya tat karma parvartanat sangha chataigat sato brite sadbir bhakti prasidhiti. And we'll go to the verse here. Now, just see, this is motivational preaching, everyone. It really is. The real motivational preaching. There are 6 principles favorable to the execution of pure devotional service. 1, being enthusiastic. 2, endeavoring with confidence. 3, being patient. Acting according to regulated principles, such as Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, hearing, chanting, and remembering Kṛṣṇa. 5, abandoning the association of non-devotees or deviant devotees. And 6, following in the footsteps of the previous acharyas, do not change anything. These 6 principles undoubtedly assure the complete success of pure devotional service. This is motivational speaking, everyone, not bridge preaching. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Devotional service is not a matter of sentimental speculation or imaginative ecstasy. Sahajiism. Its substance is practical activity. Srila Rupa Goswami in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu has defined devotional service as anya bilasita sunyam jnana karmadi anavritam anukulena Kṛṣṇanu silanam bhaktir uttama. Uttama bhakti, or devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Kṛṣṇa, involves the rendering of devotional service in a way that is favorable to the Lord. This devotional service should be free from any extraneous motive and devoid of fruitive karma, impersonal jnana, and other selfish desires. You decide who's acting on these platforms, everyone. Bhakti is sort of a cultivation. As soon as we say cultivation, we must refer to activity. Cultivation of spirituality does not mean sitting down idly for meditation. As some pseudo-yogis teach, such idle meditation may be good for those who have no information of devotional service, and for this reason, it is sometimes recommended as a way to check materialistic activities. Meditation means stopping all nonsensical activities for at least the time being. Devotional service, however, not only puts an end to all nonsensical mundane activities, but also engages one in meaningful devotional activities. Sri Prahlad Maharaj recommends Shravanam, Kirtanam Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam Vadanam, Dashyam Sakya Atma Nivedanam. Those 9 processes of devotional service are as follows. 1, hearing the name and glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. 2, chanting his glories. 3, remembering the Lord. 4, serving the Lord's feet. 5, worshiping the deity. 6, offering obeisances unto the Lord. 7, acting as the Lord's servant. Making friends, 8, with the Lord. And 9, surrendering oneself fully to the Lord. Shravanam, or hearing, is the first step in acquiring transcendental knowledge. One should not give oral reception to unauthorized persons. I'll repeat that. And that means any bogus gurus who are not authorized to become Diksha gurus. They'll mislead you. One should not give oral reception to unauthorized persons, but approach the proper person, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is present in his Vani incarnation for all of us, as recommended in the Bhagavad Gita. 434, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshanaha. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. Some of our God brothers at some particular time changed this translation to say, they have seen the truth. They changed it. Is that dramatic? Just one word is dramatic here. He to they. So be mindful. Do not approach bridge preachers. Please do not do that. Have nothing to do with them. They're bogus. It is further recommended in Mundaka Upanishad, Tadvigyanartam sagurun eva bigachet. To understand the transcendental science, one must approach a bona fide spiritual master. Thus, this method of submissively receiving transcendental confidential knowledge is not merely based on mental speculation. In this regard, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Rupa Goswami, Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jiva Guru Krishna Prasade Poya Bhakti Lata Bija. In the course of traversing the universal creation of Brahma, some fortunate soul may receive the seed of Bhakti Lata, the creeper of devotional service. This is all by the grace of Guru and Krishna. Why do you come to Krishna consciousness, Veronica, Mataji? By the grace of Guru and Krishna, Prabhupada and Krishna, as the Paramatma in the heart of every living entity. For some reason, You've developed the sincerity to hear. That's the first principle. And you'll make advancement. And you will go back to Godhead. Carry on. Don't be worried. The material world is a place of confinement for the living entities who are by nature anandamaya, pleasure seeking. They actually want to be free from the confinement of this world, of conditional happiness, but not knowing the process of liberation. They are bound to transmigrate from one species of life to another, from one planet to another. Very transcendental message here. In this way, the living entities are wandering throughout the material universe, not going on vacation. When by good fortune, one comes in contact with a pure devotee and hears from him patiently, one begins to follow the path of devotional service. Such an opportunity is offered to a person who is sincere. And the International Society for Kṛṣṇa Consciousness back then was providing that facility, is giving such a chance to humanity at large. We are doing it now. We are doing it now. I tell people, we're a global movement helping humanity understand the purpose of life by understanding who is a pure devotee and how to follow him. If by fortune one takes advantage of this opportunity to engage in devotional service, the path of liberation immediately opens for Anakamata. One should accept this opportunity to return home back to Godhead. Here's the motivational speaking. Very enthusiastically. Without enthusiasm, one cannot be successful. Even in this material world, one has to be very enthusiastic in the particular field of activity in order to become successful. A student, a businessman, an artist, or anyone else who wants success in his line or her line must be enthusiastic. Similarly, one has to be enthusiastic in devotional service. And enthusiasm means action. But action for whom? The answer is that one should always act for Kṛṣṇa. Krishnartha Kila Chetas, Chesta, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. In all phases of life, one has to perform devotional activities under the direction of the spiritual master. Here we go again with Srila Prabhupada's directing us to him, but he's not mentioning his name, in order to attain perfection in bhakti yoga. Anyone with half a brain will understand that Prabhupada is trying to help people surrender to the process through his bona fide process, teachings. It is not that one has to confine or narrow one's activities. Kṛṣṇa is all-pervading. There is nothing, therefore nothing is independent of Kṛṣṇa. As Kṛṣṇa himself states in the Bhagavad Gita, Mayam tatam idam sarvam jagad avyakta murtina matstani sarvabhutani nachaham teshva vastati ha. By me, in my manifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. Here we go again. Under the direction of the bona fide spiritual master, and all of you are his disciples or aspiring disciples, one has to make favorable for Kṛṣṇa service. For example, at present, we are using a dictaphone. The materialist who invented this machine intended it for businessmen or writers of mundane subject matters. I mentioned that about lawyers in the 70s. That's what they used for writing letters and giving them to their secretaries. He certainly never thought of using dictaphone in God's service. But we are using this dictaphone to write Krishna conscious literature. Of course, the manufacture of the dictaphone is wholly within the energy of Krishna. All the parts of the instrument, including the electronic functions, are made from different combinations and interactions of the 5 basic types of material energy. Beautiful. Namely, Bhumi, Jala, Agni, Vayu, and Akasha. The inventor used his brain to make this complicated machine. It is. Everything is so complicated. And his brain, as well as all the ingredients, were supplied by Krishna. According to the statement of Krishna, Matstani Sarva Bhutani, everything is depending on my energy. Thus, the devotee can understand that since nothing is independent of Krishna's energy, everything should be dovetailed in his service. Endeavor executed with intelligence. Endeavor executed with intelligence in Krishna consciousness is called utsaha, or enthusiasm. The devotees find the correct means by which everything can be utilized in the service of the Lord. Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhi Yuktam Vairagya Uchate. The execution of devotional service is not a matter of idle meditation, but practical action in the foreground of spiritual life. We're going to pause at this point. We're going to carry on. We'll read this continuation. It's a long purport, very detailed. And what is it? Mother Veronica. This is motivational speaking at the topmost platform of intelligence. What is enthusiasm? Enthusiasm is your eagerness to hear from the bona fide spiritual master. No compromise. 0. We do not compromise. We do not change. We do not bridge preach. That's a bridge over troubled waters, and you'll sink when you go on it. That's the fact of the matter. We're going to go forward with our next section of this program. And by the way, before we go to that, Ram Raghava, I wanted to say this. I want to thank all of us who are participating, all of the people that help produce these wonderful programs, which are giving all of us now a real opportunity to learn this philosophy and have it implanted in our brains, in our mind, in our intelligence, and our soul. And when you come for 3 PhD programs a week here, you will become fixed up in Krishna consciousness and take that information with you in your daily activities as we march through our journey in time in this human body, this place of bile, mucus, stool, and urine. Yes, we'll use this body for its best purpose. Go ahead, let's roll this next section. Ram Raghava, thank you. Go ahead.
Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam. So, the whole instruction of Bhagavad Gita is that you should not act for yourself. You should simply act for Kṛṣṇa. So even fighting for Kṛṣṇa or even doing something is still abominable for Kṛṣṇa. Just like the gopis. The gopis were captivated by Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa was a young boy, very beautiful, and the gopis were young girls. That is the superficial. Actually the gopis are eternal associates of Kṛṣṇa. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitavi. They are expansions of Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa's pleasure potency expands. They are meant for Kṛṣṇa's pleasure. They are not ordinary own. But superficially, just to teach us how to love Kṛṣṇa, at the risk of anything. Therefore gopis, when they were attracted by Kṛṣṇa at midnight, Kṛṣṇa was playing flute, and they became attracted, and they left home. Some of them were locked up. They gave up their life even. They were so much attracted. Now this kind of behavior, if young girls, according to Vedic civilization, they cannot go out from the protection of father, husband and brother. No, they cannot do. Especially at midnight. So, this was against Vedic principle. It is openly a kind of prostitution. But because it was done for Kṛṣṇa, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he recommends Ramya Kachid Upasana Vrajavadavi Kalpita. There is no more better type of worship than it was conceived by the gopis, Vrajavadhu. The most abominable for a young girl to leave the care of husband, father and go to another young boy, according to Vedic culture, is the most abominable. So still, because it was, the center was Kṛṣṇa, it is accepted as the highest type of worship. That is Kṛṣṇa consciousness. We have to learn how to act only for Kṛṣṇa, how to love only Kṛṣṇa. Then our life is successful. And the human life, because we have also come down from Vaikuntha. Yes. Some millions and millions of years ago, Anadi Karama Phale. Anadi means before the creation. We living entities, we are eternal. Even the creation is annihilated. After millions and trillions of years, the living entities, they are not annihilated. Na hannati hannamane sarita. They remain. So when this whole cosmic manifestation will be annihilated, the living entities will remain in the body of Vishnu. Then when again another creation will take place, they will come out again to fulfill their desires. The real desire is how to go to home, back to body. That this chance is given. See, if this chance is misused, this life, human form of life, it is very, very risky. Again we'll have to accept the cycle of birth and death. Not only that, if we do not fulfill the mission of life, then again there will be annihilation of the whole creation, and we'll have to stay within the body of Vishnu for millions and trillions of years. Again he'll have to come. Therefore it is called Anadi Karama Phale. Anadi means before the creation. This is right. And to teach the before living entities, Kṛṣṇa personally comes. Kṛṣṇa is very much anxious to take us back to home, back to God, because we are part and parcel of Kṛṣṇa. Suppose if your son is loitering in the street, are you not anxious? Oh, there may be some accident and the poor boy will be killed. So you go, try to find out. Similarly, Krishna's position is like that. We are in this material world simply suffering, life after life. Dukkhalayam Aśvatthāmā. This place is miserable. But Maya's illusion, we are taking this miserable condition of life as happiness. This is called Maya. But there is no happiness in this material world. Everything miserable. The sooner we understand that everything is miserable in this material world, and this sooner we prepare ourselves to leave this material world and go back to home, that is our sense. Otherwise, whatever we are doing, we are simply being defeated. Because we are missing the nati vidu sarthagatim vishnu. Durasaya. You are by hope against hope, which will never be fulfilled. You are trying to adjust things here to become happy without God consciousness. It will never become. Nati vidu sarthagatim vishnu. Durasaya. Durasaya means the hope which will never be fulfilled.
Very interesting. A hope that will never be fulfilled. Live in hope, die in despair. My Jehovah Witness fellow used to quote that to me. And here Prabhupada speaking. We live in service. That is our liberation. And before we move on to the next section, I wanted to mention that Jayananda Prabhu and Aprakrita Prabhu, two great devotees of Srila Prabhupada, took to the process of devotional service as the means of liberation, undeviated, uninterrupted, and unmotivated. And that is the example that we can all follow in their footsteps and be successful in this journey in time, back home, back to Godhead, to the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. So we're going to go forward here next with our nectarine reading and discussion of the Delhi Bhagavatams with Yashodanandana Prabhu. And don't forget, these books are on sale, and any way you can assist us in the distribution, please get in touch. All glories to the Sankirtan movement. Haribol.
Sai. Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari. Jaya Radha Punya Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari. सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय, रामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद से अद्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गौ गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिवर्धन की जय, वृंदावन धाम की जय, नवद्वीप धाम की जय, स्वामी तो भक्तवृंद की जय, गंगा माई की जय, जमुना माई की जय, तुलसी देवी की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, स्वामी तो भक्तवृंद की जय। All glories to the assembled Lord. All glories to the assembled Lord. Thank you very much.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. O my Lord, Sri Kṛṣṇa, the son of Vasudeva, the all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you from Srimad Bhagavatam 1:1:1. Narayanam namaskrityam. Narayanam namaskrityam. Naram cheva narottamam. Naram cheva narottamam. Devim saraswatim vyasam. Devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudirayat. Tato jayam mudirayat. One should utter the means of conquest, Srimad Bhagavatam, after offering respectful obeisances, 1, to the personality of Godhead, Narayana, 2, to the Narayana Rishi, who is the supermost human being, 3, to the Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, then 4, to Srila Vyasadeva, the author, from Srimad Bhagavatam 1-4. Welcome everyone to this reading and discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam. This reading is being conducted from the original 1962 Delhi edition, and I apologize for the background and the lack of light. One of the lamps went out. Modern technologies sometimes break down. As I said, the reading is being conducted from the 1962 Srimad Bhagavatam, the New Delhi edition, and all purports, synonyms, and translations are from His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, also known as the Krishna Consciousness Movement. As we do every week, we will be trying, which Prabhu is trying to fix the system. So as we do every week, we will be reading a few selected verses from the Srimad Bhagavatam itself, which explains the meaning of this powerful transcendental literature. Yadanudyasina yukta karma granti nibandanam Chindanti kovidastasya kona kuryat kataratim. Intelligent persons do cut off the internet of the knot of reactionary work. Hold on. by remembrance of the personality of Godhead. Therefore, who will not give attention to his message? Shushrushoho Shraddhanasya Vasudeva Kataruchihi Syan Mahat Sevaya Vipra Punyatirtha Nishevanat. O the twice-born sages, by serving those devotees who are completely freed from all ranges of vice, a standard of great service is done. And as the result of such great service, affinity in the messages of Vasudeva is made possible. Srinvatam Svakata Kṛṣṇa Punyasravana Kirtana Hridyantasto Hyabadrani Vidunoti Surit Satam. Sri Kṛṣṇa, the personality of Godhead, who is also the Paramatma in everyone's heart and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, does cleanse the desire for material enjoyment in the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge for hearing his, Krishna's messages, which are themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. Nashta prayesha babadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in the Bhagavatam class or rendering service unto the pure devotees, all that is inauspicious in the heart of a candidate becomes destroyed almost to nil, and thus loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, comes into being an irrevocable fact. Tadarajastamo bhava kamalo bhadayaschaye chetayeterana viddam stitam sattve prasidati. As soon as irrevocable loving service is fixed up in one's heart, at that time the effects of the nature's mode of passion and ignorance, such as lust, desire, and hankerings, etc., do disappear from one's heart, and he becomes fixed up in the mode of goodness, which makes him completely happy. Evam prasanna manaso bhagavad bhakti yogata bhagavad tata viññānam mukta sangasya jayate. Thus, when one is positively fixed up in a mode of unalloyed goodness, the enlivened-minded man affected by contact of devotional service of the Lord can positively know scientific knowledge of the personality of Godhead in the stage of liberation from all material association. Vidyate hridaya grantis chidyante sarvasamshaya kshiyante chasya karmani drishtayevatmanishvare. The knot of one's heart is thus pierced, and all misgivings are cut into pieces. The chain of fruitive actions are terminated, along with the seeing of oneself, the dominating factor. Let us proceed with our verse for today. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 7, text number 23. Tvamadya Purusha Sakshat Ishvaraha Prakrite Paraha Mayam Vyudasya Chit Chaktya Kevalyestita Atmani Tvamadya. You are the original Purusha, the personality of God, of enjoyer. Sakshat, directly. Ishvaraha, the controller. Prakrite, of the material nature. Paraha, transcendental. Mayam, the material energy. Vyudasya, one who has thrown aside. Chit Shaktya, by dint of internal potency. Kevalye, in pure knowledge and bliss eternal. Stita, placed. Atmani, own self. Translation. Arjuna said further, you are the original personality of Godhead, who expends himself all over the creations and are transcendental to material energy. You have thrown away effects of material energy by dint of your spiritual potency, and you are always situated in eternal bliss and knowledge transcendental. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, the current Acharya of the Krishna consciousness movement. The statement of the Lord in the Bhagavad Gita is that one who surrenders unto the lotus feet of Krishna can get release from the clutches of nescience. Krishna is just like the sun, and Maya, or material existence, is just like darkness. Wherever there is the light of the sun, the existence of darkness or ignorance is at once vanished. The best means of getting out of the world of ignorance is suggested here. The Lord is addressed herein as the original personality of Godhead. From him, all other personalities of Godhead expands. The all-pervading Lord Vishnu is Lord Krishna's plenary portion or expansion. The Lord expends himself by innumerable forms of Godhead and living beings along with his different energies. But Sri Krishna is the original primeval Lord from whom everything emanates. All-pervading feature of the Lord experienced within the manifested world is also partial representation of the Lord. Paramatma is, therefore, included within him, is the absolute personality of Godhead. He has nothing to do with the actions and reactions of the material manifestation because he is far above the material creation. Darkness is a perverse representation of the sun. Therefore, darkness exists on the existence of the sun. But in the sun proper, there is no trace of darkness. As the sun is full of light, only similarly the absolute personality of Godhead beyond the material existence is full of bliss. He's not only full of bliss, but also full of transcendental variegatedness. Transcendence is not at all static, but he is full of dynamic variegatedness. He is distinct from the material nature complicated by the three modes of material nature. He is Parama, or the chief. Therefore, he is absolute. He has manifold energies, and through his diverse energies, he creates, manifests, maintains, and destroys the material world. In his own abode, however, everything is eternal and absolute. The world is not conducted by the energies or powerful exigencies by themselves, but by the potent all-powerful with all energies. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shigurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Bhakti Siddhanta Shishyaya Bhakti Vedanta Namine Prasannaya Prashantaya Tasmai Shugurave Namaha. Bhagavad Vandana Kadyam Guru Vandana Purvakam Kshiram Sharkara Yuktam Kadatehi Visheshataham Adadana Strinam Danteridam Yache Punaha Punaha Srimad Rupa Padam Bhoja Dhulisyam Janma Janmani Amsho Bhagavatosmyaham Sadadaso Asmi Sarabata tat kripapekshako nityam tat presta sat karomishvam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. This prayer by Arjuna to Lord Krishna is very significant because it describes the position of the personality of Godhead Krishna. It is very important to understand who is Krishna, what is his position, what are his qualities, and what is the benefit of hearing and understanding the personality of Godhead. Vedaham etan purushan mahantam aditya varnam tamasaha parastat. In the Purusha Sukta, in the Yajurveda, there's description that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is beyond the darkness of this material world. Tameva viditva atibirityo meti nanya pantaha vidyati ayanaya. But by understanding Krishna, one can go beyond the darkness of this material world. This is explained by Lord Krishna in so many verses in the Bhagavad Gita. The Charama Sloka, or the supreme verse of the Bhagavad Gita, is explained by Lord Krishna in chapter 18, text 66. Sarva dharman parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami masuchaha. That surrender everything unto me, I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Krishna says, masuchaha, do not worry. This is the same principle to surrender to the bona fide spiritual master. If one clearly understands the teachings and the instructions of the Acharya, then he can be freed from the anxieties of material existence. Because generally, one cannot approach Krishna directly. One has to approach Krishna, just like Vishwakarma Prabhu was reading earlier, that one has to accept the authority of the Acharya, accept the bona fide spiritual master. But people get confused by the propaganda of the so-called bridge preachers and self-appointed acharyas. Why do we keep using this term? Because first of all, we have to understand the bona fide acharya is not dead and gone. That is very clear from Prabhupada's teachings. Right in the beginning of the Bhagavatam, Prabhupada makes it clear. He lives forever. How does he do that? By his divine instructions. Well, what about the follower? What happens to the follower? And the follower lives with him. It's very clear. It's not complicated to understand. This is the same basic fundamental principle which Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has explained in the Samadhi of Havaridas Thakur in Jagannath Puri, Orissa, India. He reasons ill who tells that Vaishnavas die. Now, it is not complicated. It only becomes difficult when motivated people try to twist and misinterpret the philosophy. It is not difficult. But it may become very difficult to understand for those who concluded that the Acharya is dead and gone because he is not physically present. Prabhupada, as an empowered Nitya Siddha, or an eternally liberated soul, made various arrangements for the spreading of Krishna consciousness all over the world. Just coming on the boat was an innovation. Those of you who are a little familiar with Prabhupada's teachings, you know, in the Vedas, there is description it is forbidden to sannyasis to take long voyages by boat because it is not very clean, at least in those days. Very little facility for pure water, very little facility for bathing. The boat is constantly moving. There are so many inconveniences, and it's very difficult to keep pure in a state of goodness on a dirty boat. But Prabhupada took that journey, that long journey. Srila Prabhupada had prepared himself. He translated the Srimad Bhagavatam, the first canto. When you think of it, at that age that he undertook the journey, without much support, he did not have institutional support. We know he didn't have a whole lot of money. 40 rupees, even in those days, was not a whole lot of money. He had a letter of sponsor from a gentleman in Butler, Pennsylvania, but even that was not much. When he got to Butler, they made arrangement for him to reside at the YMCA. But Prabhupada was undeterred. He was completely focused on what? The mission of his spiritual master, to bring the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to the West. So many inconveniences. When he went back to New York, he stayed in Dr. Mishra's ashram. There were also numerous inconveniences, so many restrictions. When he got his own place in New York in the beginning, again, there was not a whole lot of financial support. There were numerous difficulties, but Prabhupada was completely fixed on following the mission and the order of his spiritual master. He had to make many adjustments. Prabhupada one time complained that some people were telling him that he was very conservative. Prabhupada says, I'm not very conservative because there's food stuff in a refrigerator and there's meat in a refrigerator, and he had to keep some of the boga over there. In the beginning, many of the peoples that were initiated in New York in 1966 were very new. Some of them did not even shave their heads. Some of them did not quite understand the philosophy very well. But Prabhupada very kindly, gradually, systematically, step by step, by his kindness and his mercy, gave him instruction, gave him guidance to elevate them, to give them the understanding of what is Kṛṣṇa consciousness, what is the position of a living entity, and how to render service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's interesting in this purport, when you really analyze each sentence, how Prabhupada describes Krishna's position. Every single sentence is a gem from Srila Prabhupada to dispel the ignorance of the living entity in the material world. That's what the spiritual master does. It's not very difficult, but it becomes very difficult when people trying to mislead and trying to twist the philosophy. Now, Prabhupada explained many times that the philosophy of Kṛṣṇa consciousness is that Vani is more important than Vapu. We do not neglect the Vapu of the spiritual master. It's very auspicious. Without the Vapu, we would not have the Vani. But Prabhupada repeatedly emphasized this point, that the Vani is always more important than the Vapu. But now we have a class of people who are twisting things around, making their Vapu more important than Prabhupada's Vani. A complete misrepresentation. That's why devotees should be very aware of what is going on around them. Be very aware of the misrepresentation and misunderstandings which are being spread by motivated people. Just earlier, we saw Vishwakarma Prabhu explaining about the dangers of this so-called bridge preaching. Because with this bridge preaching, they're introducing so many nonsense ideas which are departures from the standards of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada never deviated from the instruction of his spiritual master, and all of his arrangements are complete and perfect. If one is not motivated by personal desire for name, fame, power, position, profit, adoration, distinction, it is not complicated to understand how Prabhupada was preaching. And his arrangements are completely pure and perfect. Why? Because he was in touch with Krishna 24 hours a day. His books were perfect. There's no need to change them or re-edit them perpetually. His arrangements for offering kirtan, for offering service to the deity, for chanting Hare Krishna, for initiations, for everything. Everything was perfect and complete. And anyone who finds fault with the Acharya is playing with fire. Very dangerous position to criticize the Acharya or neglect the Acharya's orders. One should not confuse arrangement with the technicalities and formalities of initiation with the essence of initiation. Prabhupada is initiating people every day through his transcendental original message. If one is fortunate enough or has the brain substance to understand the essence of Prabhupada's teachings, Divyam Jnanam Yato Dadyat, that Divyam Jnanam means transcendental knowledge. This is given in every single page in his books, like this purport here. So many transcendental gems. Prabhupada says, Krishna is just like the sun, and Maya, or material existence, is just like darkness. Wherever there is the light of the sun, the existence of darkness or ignorance is at once vanished. Think of that for a moment. This is the English rendering of a verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita by the exalted devotee Krishnadas Kaviraj. And this is also from the Vedas. Aditya Varnam Tamasaha Parastat. The personality of God, it is beyond the darkness of this material world. This is where we belong. In this world, people are influenced by so many nonsense ideas. How many times have you met people that enjoy your life because everything is finished after this body? No, it is not finished. You will live on. You are an eternal spirit soul, currently temporary in this world, afflicted by the influence of Maya or illusion. Once that covering is removed by the mercy of the spiritual master, like we sing every day with these introductory prayers, Om Ajnana Timira Andasya, the darkness of ignorance, Jnana Anjana Shalakaya. Just like everywhere you go, the ladies, they put some ointment. In Sanskrit, it's called Anjana. They put some ointment in the eyes to try to make the eyes beautiful. In this material world, that Anjana is Ajnana, ignorance. Jnana Anjana Shalakaya, an instrument. When there's a problem with the eyes, they take an instrument to remove the problem. That's why we offer respectful obeisances to the spiritual master, Om Ajnana Timirandasya, who is removing the deep darkness of ignorance by the light of transcendental knowledge. Jnana Anjana, the transcendental ointment of transcendental knowledge. This is what Prabhupada is delivering every day through his Divyam Jnanam. This is how the karma is removed. There's no special karma pigeon that goes from one place to the other, taking away the karma. Prabhupada explains in the Nectar of Instruction, Divyam Jnanam yato dadyat kuryat papasya sankshayam. Papasya sankshaya means to clear the karma. How? By the Divyam Jnanam, by the transcendental mantra that is given by Srila Prabhupada, by the transcendental books given by Srila Prabhupada. That's what Vishwakarma Prabhu was reading from the Nectar of Instruction earlier. Simply, we have to develop a taste for hearing. Everybody has a taste for talking, for opinions. Like many times Vishwakarma Prabhu was saying, everybody has body odor. So everybody's got an opinion. I think this, I think that. Prabhupada says this, I think this means this means that. There are so many interpretations of Prabhupada's teachings. Do not be misled by the propaganda of the so-called bridge preaching brigade and their fire brigade to try to force people with their institutional dogma and their concoctions. That will not help. Yesterday, we had a discussion with Vijay Pandit, and I was asking him, why is it that so many devotees manufactures so many new kirtans, new bhajans, that Prabhupada is not given? Why? Why are they not satisfied with the instruction of the bona fide acharya? We know it worked. He came to America in New York. He sat under a tree. People came. He went to San Francisco in Golden Gate Park. People came. He went back to Calcutta, went to India. Millions of people came. But now they're inventing these new mantras, thinking it will make it more popular. So-called bridge preaching. No, that will not make it more popular. That will spoil it. Just think about that for a moment. If you cook sweet rice, do you put sand in it? Do you put salt in it? Or do you put sugar in it? It may look like sweet rice if you put salt in it, but it's not going to be really sweet rice when you taste it. Just think about these things for a moment and surrender to the bona fide acharya. Back to you in the studio. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Oh, glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much. Salt in the sweet rice. It becomes unpalatable. Yes. And I know about that. I'm a servant of Radha Kirchor Gopinath. And the deity that stole the sweet rice. And we cooked sweet rice and milk sweets for their pleasure for many years at the Toronto Temple, for 16 while I was there. So salt in the sweet rice does not work. And bridge preaching, the changing of the philosophy to attract followers, is like salt in the sweet rice. That's what it is. It's not palatable. So I wanted to bring up a point, Yashodanandana, that we used to discuss in detail back in the 70s when we were focused, all of us were focused, all the Prabhupada disciples were focused on serving Srila Prabhupada only, not so many different people taking that role these days, in many different groups, being authorities or religious leaders or Diksha gurus, whatever title they want to take. And it's called transparent via media. This principle is something that is stressed in our philosophy. What is transparent via media? It means the source, the transparent via media, is the source of transcendental knowledge flowing down in the disciplic succession through his teachings to all of us. Transparent via media. Is it common to find a transparent via media? A source directly coming from the spiritual world to us through a person that's living on this planet with us? It's not common. And think about it like this, Nilashama. How many transparent via media individuals have there been? Well, we have a list at the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita. It's a specific list from Kṛṣṇa coming down through disciplic succession. It's not like 175 so-called transparent via medias. Anybody that accepts that is a fool. Or they're misled. They may be sincere, but they're sentimental. They're confused. They're misled. They're misinformed. All kinds of words, as you know, Prabhus, words of description for these kind of people. Misled. Transparent via media. We used to use it as well with our japa beads. If you remember, we say, here is your link to the spiritual sky. You just chant your rounds and you're directly connected to the spiritual world, another dimension. There are many dimensions, Nilesh. There's the material dimension. What is the material dimension? The material dimension is perception through the material senses of the illusory world that people are in, thinking they can be happy with enjoying sense gratification with this vehicle. Illusion. My money. People think it's my money. It's not our money. It's not our money. We have some money. Wealth belongs to Kṛṣṇa. Lakshmi Devi comes when the devotee is interested in engaging that in Kṛṣṇa's service. Otherwise, money is an entanglement and actually destroys people. It does. Like people that have money, Yashoda Nandana, they think they can do anything. And people, when they speak, because people are looking for money, they'll listen to them. Oh, he's got money. Oh, I'm going to listen. Oh, yes, what did you want? Hello? Hello. It's like slaves. People in jobs, they're slaves. They're entangled. If they don't listen to the boss, guess what happens? They get fired. Firing is something that goes on, especially in America. They fire people every day. Goodbye. Because you're not submissive. You don't listen. Money is a very, there are two paths of confusion that assist, that accompany the living entity. And what are they? Women and money. Or men and money for a lady. Confusion. Their Prabhupada explains it, Nilesh. Stumbling blocks. If you read it in the Bhagavatam, you'll see it. Stumbling blocks on the path of liberation. Money and women. For men, let's say. And to overcome it, you need to get the association of a transparent via media spiritual master. I'm going to tell a story. It was in Detroit in 1971. I'd come down with the devotees from Hamilton in a truck. There was like 10 of us in a truck. Remember those Econoline vans? So austere, really. It was hot. There were no windows. So there was 10 of us in the back of a truck going to Detroit to see and meet His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And we were so excited with this opportunity. We accepted the austerity as just a way of life. Tapasya. It was a tapasya, a way of life for us. Now, of course, back then we had nothing. None of us had anything. We had little boxes of a few possessions, a polyester dhoti and some socks and some kalpans for the men. They were just strips of cloth that we cut from old dhotis and used that. No possessions, but we were happy. Actually, brahmachari means freedom. Freedom from everything. You're simply a spiritual master, or not a spiritual master, as a servant of the spiritual master. That was your ecstasy. So we get to Detroit, Prabhu, and I remember we went out to the airport. Prabhupada was coming in at the airport, and we all crowded into the corridors of that airport. I was just part of a group, just a gang. And we headed up, and then Prabhupada came in to the lobby where the passengers who landed would sit. And the devotees had set up a seat for him right in the airport. And it created quite a sensation, because no one had ever seen anything like this before in their meager, mundane existence. And there we were, flower garlands, incense, all kinds of prasadam, gifts to Prabhupada. And he sat on the chair in the airport, and we greeted him there instead of just getting off the plane and everybody just marched down the corridor back to the temple. So there was an event they had planned in the airport to shock everyone, the police, the security, the passengers. They were all, what's happened? What's this? But we were oblivious to it. I had gone back. I was going up to join the group, but I remembered Prabhupada said we should always distribute books. So we had no books with us. We had Back to Godhead man. So I thought, I'm going to go back to the van and get a big bag of books so we have some magazines to hand out at the ceremony. And I went back, and then I ran back, and I got there. And I was afraid to look at Srila Prabhupada. I was actually declined even to glance on him, because I thought, I'm not qualified. Here is the transparent via media of Kṛṣṇa, the representative of God in real time. And I wasn't qualified. So I hid behind the devotees. I kept my head down. I thought, okay, I won't look. I can't look. And then I thought to myself, okay, this is crazy. What are you doing? You got to look. And when I finally had got the courage to look at Srila Prabhupada, the transparent via media of Kṛṣṇa, I saw him pour water. And if you've ever seen a loda that they use in India for water, they don't touch it to their lips. They pour it down from above. And I saw Prabhupada look. I looked at him, and when the first glance, I saw him pouring water. It was like a silver stream going into his throat. And I thought, oh, look at this. All it was he's pouring water, in a sense. But for me, I got the realization, yes, here is the transparent via media of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he did not look like a mundane person, but a transcendental soul from the spiritual sky descended here to deliver the message of Lord Chaitanya to all of us. And that's the way all of us have to see Srila Prabhupada. Not salt in the sweet rice, not bogus gurus. No, no, no. It's like Prabhupada said, chant, 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 can't, can't. No, no, no. Bogus means misdirected. Them and their so-called followers. And why do we stress this? Do you want pure gold or do you want 10% gold? Nilesh, do you want pure gold? We're preaching pure gold for our members of this group, PDA HKS. No compromise, zero. And we avoid the association of non-devotees or people that disobey the orders of their spiritual master. We avoid them. No, no, no. We're going to go ahead with our next section, Ram Raghava, which is it another section with...
It's the reading from Our Living Guru.
Oh, we're reading from Our Living Guru. Okay. Yashodanandana Prabhu, let's move forward with this further explanation of the understanding of what is the meaning of Guru Tattva.
Well, thank you so much for that explanation, Vishwakarma Prabhu. We are reading from chapter 2 of Our Living Guru on page number 17. Page number 17, there is a description in a booklet that was published in the middle 1980s called the Guru Reform Notebook. Now, we're not going to go into a whole discussion of the whole term Guru Reform because many people thought that was ludicrous, but like reforming a guru like a juvenile delinquent or something. But let's read from these comments. This originally was compiled by Puranjan Das and Jagjivan Das, and I did some minor editing of this. Originally, this was started in 1983, and it was formally published in 1993 in Badger, California. Here we go. The author of the Guru Reform Notebook, pages 24-25, alleges that great liberated gurus and even the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself may also be great offenders, while he stretches even further the attempts to explain away the many discrepancies manifested in the GBC's Living Guru project. Quote, examples of great persons who consider themselves great offenders. 1, Lord Balaram after killing Romaharshan Sutta. 2, Parashuram after killing the Kshatriyas. 3, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, who refused to take mango saying, no, I'm an offender. 4, Srila Prabhupada, who begged forgiveness in his last days for offending his god brothers. 5, Narottam Das and Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who lament in their songs, not exactly for having committed offenses, but for wasting their lives in material life. The previous statements here were from the Guru Reform Notebook. And here's the comment. And how do we know that the great liberated eternal preceptor gurus never become materially conditioned? Because the Vedic literature and Prabhupada's personal examples confirm it. How do we know that the living gurus are conditioned souls unqualified to hold the post of eternal preceptor gurus? Because as seen above, they exhibit conditioned defects. They incorrectly misinterpret the Vedic literatures by their imperfect senses. Some of them even boast that Krishna's pure parampara gurus, such as the Living Gurus project members, make mistakes all the time. Then they amalgamate those conditioned defects into larger illusions, which they forward as position paper, GBC philosophical reports, and such illusions are supposed to be the absolute truth. This means that they are then exhibiting the cheating propensity. Finally, as described above, they shamelessly and unauthorizedly promote all their material defects as the qualifications of the great acharyas and mahajans. Very dangerously, the living gurus portray the completely Krishna-conscious eternal preceptor gurus as faulty, materially affected mixed devotees. So again, Srila Prabhupada observed the great danger of this deviant philosophy, mixing the contaminated with the pure in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adilila 7.72, thus declare their path to hell. Srila Prabhupada clarifies the reasons for the false criticism towards real acharyas, quote, influenced by an envious temperament and dissatisfied because of an attitude of sense gratification, mundaners criticize a real acharya. In fact, however, a bona fide acharya is non-different from the personality of Godhead, and therefore to envy such an acharya is to envy the personality of Godhead himself. This will produce an effect subversive to transcendental realization, from Adilila, chapter 1, text 46. And he remarks in Sri Ishopanishad mantra 12 of the potential consequences of misleading innocent people by falsely posing as an eternal guru. Quote, by a false display of religious sentiments, they present a show of devotional service while indulging in all sorts of immoral activities. In this way, they pass as spiritual masters and devotees of God. Such violators of religious principles have no respect for the authoritative acharyas, the holy teachers in the strict disciplined succession. To mislead the people in general, they themselves become so-called acharyas, but they do not even follow the principles of the acharyas. These rogues are the most dangerous elements in human society. Because there is no religious government, they escape punishment by the law of the state. They cannot, however, escape the law of the Supreme, who has clearly stated in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 16, text 19 and 20, that envious demons in the garb of religious propagandists shall be thrown into the darkest regions of hell. Sri Ishopanishad confirmed that these pseudo-religionists are headed toward the most obnoxious place in the universe after the completion of their spiritual master business, which they conduct simply for sense gratification. Back to you in the studio. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Amazing. Amazing explanation of fact, of truth. And it goes back to the point, Yashodanandana Prabhu, of salt in sweet rice. When you change, when you misinform people for personal ambition, this is salt in sweet rice. And here it was said that such people will suffer severe consequences at the time of death. So this is something that we should be very mindful of and stay focused on the Vani principle that Prabhupada lives in sound. And we simply repeat what we've heard from him without any change. And in this way, we won't be affected by profit, adoration, and distinction, which is the disease of the mundaner. And it filters in to the spiritual practices of many. So they're using spiritual knowledge to get money. You get followers, you get cash. And cash is king in this world for the mundaner. You become famous. People will speak about you. Oh, he's a great preacher. He's highly respected for his work, but it's all fake. Profit, adoration, and distinction. And you're worshipped. It's a disease. Bhavananda, he became, and Gopal Kṛṣṇa, they became affected by it. They sent a letter. Gopal Kṛṣṇa sent me a letter. Oh, when we have the Guru Puja, because we were objecting to having to bow down in front of the animal dog lover Keith Ham in the Toronto temple. We were forced to bow down before him. We were complaining. So he decided to send me a letter. And then he says, oh, well, you don't have to do the worship of me in the temple. Gopal. They used to call him Goofball in the GBC. Goofball. That was his name. His nickname. I didn't make it up. His godbrothers made it up. The people that had to work with him. But he said, oh, just arrange the Guru Puja for me in the back room with all my disciples. It's a bitter memory, I must say. It's terrible. But this is what the disease of prophet adoration and distinction bring upon people that are practicing Krishna consciousness in deviated forms. So we'll go from there. We're going to go to the next section of our program, which is a Prabhupada lecture. Go ahead, Ram Raghava, let's roll that.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam. So all these materialistic persons, they are so full, rascal and miscreants, they are increasing these material activities. They are thinking by these increasing material activities they will be happy. No, that is not possible. Durasayadi and their leaders, andhajathandai rupaniyamana, stipi satantra hrudam nibadha. All of us are tied, very tight hands and legs, and we are thinking we are free, independent, by the laws of material nature. Still we are thinking that we are independent. The scientist is trying to avoid God, independent by science. That is not possible. We are under the grip of the material nature. Material nature means the agent of Kṛṣṇa. Maya dhakṣena prakriti svayate sacharat. Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasya. So, we are always in perplexity, like Arjuna, what to do, what to not to do. But if we take this principle, that we must do for Kṛṣṇa, so take direction from Kṛṣṇa, and take direction from Krishna's representative, and you do it, then there is no karma bandhana. Karmani niddhati kintu cha bhakti bhaja. Otherwise, we are bound up by the reaction of every act. We cannot get out. So, this perplexity, whether I shall fight or not fight, that will be explained. That yes, you must fight for Kṛṣṇa, then it is all right. Kama Kṛṣṇa karmatmane. Just like Hanuman, he fought for Lord Ramchandra. He did not fight for himself. Similarly, Arjuna also, his flag is Kapidhaja. His flag is marked with Hanuman. He knew that. So Hanuman, a great fighter, fought with Ravana, not for his personal interest. The interest was how to get out Sitaji from the hands of Ravana, kill the whole family, and get out and let her sit down on the side of Ramchandra. This is the policy of Hanuman, devotees. And the Ravan policy is take away Sita from the clutches of Rama and enjoy it. This is Ravana policy. And the Hanuman policy is take out Sita from the hands of Ravana and get her seated by the side of Rama. The same Sita. Sita means Lakshmi. So Lakshmi means Narayan's property, God's property. So we should learn the policy that all these materialistic persons, Ravans, they're trying to enjoy God's property. So somewhere or other, of course, we cannot fight with Ravana class man. That is, we are not so strong. Therefore, we have taken the policy of becoming a beggar. Sir, you are so nice man. Please give us something. Give us something. Because you are spoiling your life by keeping God's property. You are going to hell. So, somewhere or other, if you become a member, so you will be saved. You will be saved. That is our policy. We are not beggars. But it is a policy. Now it is not very, we are not very strong to fight with the Ravan. Otherwise we have taken all the money by fighting. But that is not possible. We are not so strong. Therefore we have taken the policy of beggar. Thank you very much.
Very dramatic statement. You're spoiling God's property. You'll go to hell. Well, the hell is also this world that we live in today, where there's a short life, less than 100 years, all kinds of trouble from disease, all kinds of trouble from other living entities. You can see that. Some people assassinate others for their beliefs. It's a very sad state that we're in. We're living in the Kali Yuga. But at the same time, we're also very blessed because we're associating with the Prabhupada disciples in the Hare Krishna Society. And we're looking for more people to take initiation, just so that you know. And there'll be a planned initiation as people step up and make a commitment in their own personal spiritual life to have these ceremonies where they're included. So you can decide, it's up to you. You don't need to take initiation to be a Prabhupada disciple. You can simply read. But this is a formal opportunity for you to make a further commitment. And you can make that decision on your own. And we are here to support you. We have a panel of people, a group of people in our group who can advise you and guide you in your spiritual journey back home, back to Godhead. We have a panel. Ram Raghava, Vijaya Pandit, the other devotees that are with us, and they're listed at the end of the program. So you can see it when we do our credits. Their phone numbers are there. Mother Ruchisha, like that. Their contact information is put there. If you have any questions about the philosophy and your position in this material world and what you should do, please feel free to reach out to us, to our panel of advisors, and get inspired by them to take up the mission of Srila Prabhupada and Lord Chaitanya with us, with enthusiasm and determination, as we read today. We're going to go forward with our next section of look at that. Yashodanandana, myself, Ron Singh, Rupa Goswami, thank you. Rupa Goswami Das, Vijaya Pandit Das, Vinay Sandeep is the new name, Virabhadra Goswami, and Ram Raghava Prabhu and Mother Rochisha, Devi Dasi. So there's the group. That's a list of people. So try to jot it down. We're going to extend we're going to extend the time at the end of the credits so that you get a chance, hopefully, to write down the number. Or you can send us an information that you were interested in help, and then we'll forward the specific information, contact information for you with these different devotees. So this will help everyone move forward in their spiritual life. Okay, so next is the chanting of 10 offenses, Prabhu, is it?
Recitation of the 10 offenses followed by one round of japa.
Okay, we'll go for that. Thank you, everyone. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Nectar of Devotion, Chapter 8, Offenses to be Avoided. The offenses against the chanting of the holy name are as follows. First, to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord. Second, to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. Sometimes the atheistic class of men take it that any demigod is as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. But one who is a devotee knows that no demigod, however great he may be, is independently as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, if someone thinks that he can chant Kali, Kali or Durga, Durga, and it is the same as Hare Krishna, that is the greatest offense. Third, to disobey the orders of the spiritual master. Fourth, to blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature in pursuance of the Vedic version. Fifth, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination. Sixth, to give some interpretation on the holy name of the Lord. Seventh, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name of the Lord. Because by chanting the holy name of the Lord, one can be freed from all kinds of sinful reactions. It should not be taken that one may continue to act sinfully and after that chant Hare Krishna to neutralize his sins. Such a dangerous mentality is very offensive and should be avoided. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities. Karma Kanda. 9th, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. Anyone can take part in chanting the holy name of the Lord, but in the beginning one should not be instructed about the transcendental potency of the Lord. Those who are too sinful cannot appreciate the transcendental glories of the Lord, and therefore it is better not to instruct them in this matter. 10th, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names, and to maintain material attachments, even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success.
Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu
Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram,
Hare
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 Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare Krishna.
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Ram Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare Hare,
Ram Hare Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna.
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare,
Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram, Hare Krishna.
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna.
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Krishna.
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Ram Hare Ram Rama Rama
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Rama Rama
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Ram, Ram
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
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 Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram
Ram,
Hare Ram Rama
Hare
Rama Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Hare
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 Ram,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Rama Rama
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare Ram Rama
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Hare Ram
Krishna
Rama Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram Hare Ram Rama Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram
Ram Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna
Rama Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama Hare Rama Rama
Hare Ram,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Rama
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama
Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama Hare
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 Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare Rama Rama Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare
Rama Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Rama
Rama Rama,
Rama Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Hare
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Hare
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama
Krishna Hare
Rama Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
Rama Hare Rama Rama
Krishna,
Rama Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Ram, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna, Krishna,
Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare
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 Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama
Hare Rama,
Rama
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
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 Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Rama Rama Rama
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama
Krishna,
Rama Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram, Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare
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 Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama Rama
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Rama
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Krishna, Krishna, Hare 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 Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna, Krishna,
Rama
Hare
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 Rama
Hare Ram,
Rama
Hare Ram,
Rama
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
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 Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
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 Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Rama
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama Rama Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna, Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama, Rama
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare
Hare Rama Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama
Krishna
Rama
Rama, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna Hare Hare
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama Hare
Rama,
Rama Rama Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Hare Hare
Rama,
Hare Rama Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Rama,
Hare Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama Hare
Rama,
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare Hare
Rama Hare Hare
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Rama Hare Rama Rama
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare Rama Hare Rama
Rama,
Rama
Rama, Hare Hare
Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Rama, Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Rama
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare
Rama Rama Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram, Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama
Krishna
Rama, Hare Hare
Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna,
Rama Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna, Hare Hare
Rama Rama
Hare Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna, Hare
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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare.
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Rama, Rama
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare Hare,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare.
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Ram, Hare
Rama
Hare.
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Chant and be happy.
Let us offer our respectful obeisances to all the assembled Vaishnava devotees. Vanchakalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances. We all offer our respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord, who can fulfill the desires of everyone, just like desire trees, and who are full of compassion for the fallen souls. Thanks, everybody, for participating in this lively reading and discussion. Thank Vishwakarma Prabhu in Yautepec, Mexico, Rochisa Mataji dans la belle province de Québec, Bhaktin Veronica in Italy, Bhakta Pierangelo in Switzerland, Viprahita Prabhu and his good wife in Georgia, USA, Forest Temple in Mexico, Ram Raghava Prabhu in Georgia with his expert managing of the program, Ambika Mataji, newly initiated devotee in St. Mary's, Alaska, Bhakta Michael Dillon in Yuba City, California, Virabhadra Goswami Prabhu in South India, Sri Arupa Mataji, who has done a lot of excellent work with the program, newly initiated devotee in South India, Anshuman Mishra Prabhu in Orissa, Bhakta Roy in Mississippi, Radharani, wherever you are, and Bhakti Vaibhav Prabhu, and everybody attending the program. Thank you for participating. Back to you in the studio, Vishwakarma Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, everyone. We'll look forward to seeing you on Wednesday for Chaitanya Charitamrita reading and discussion. And we'll move forward with the last part of our credits and some special video for all of us that are still here at the program and are eager, enthusiastic with hearing and chanting in association with devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I'm listening. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey! Play that bass, chant for peace. Don't be shy, chant along, chant along. Hare 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 Hare, Hare Bo, Hare Hare Bo, Hare Bo, Hare 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 Hare, Hare Bo, Hare Bo, Hare Bo, Hare 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 Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Hare Bo, Hare Hare Bo, Hare 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna